Hi and welcome to my first solo YouTube video. Manix is back to creche, so I feel a bit awful doing a video without him, but what I wanted to do was keep the content coming whilst we build the channel and keep giving people something to watch and keep you interested in the sort of things that we're doing. I guess if I'm honest, when Manix is around, it might be slightly more fun. And when it's just myself, I'll try and do my best to help where possible, if my words help you with Slimming World and your weight loss journey, and probably help myself at the same time. I think one of the things about being a Slimming World consultant is you spend a lot of time caring for people, putting them as your priority, and sometimes forget about you. So this video may be a teeny bit selfish in the sense that maybe this is for me, someone to be accountable, or hundreds of people to be accountable. Because a lot of consultants, we get into a very bad habit of to stop going to group ourselves. And as you will know, if you're a Slimming World member, it just doesn't work that way. I can't always put my finger on it, and I don't think you can explain the magic unless you've sort of felt exactly how it works. So today is just a video on your questions. I think there's about 10 or so, and I'll do my best to answer them. And I guess what's important to me as well, just to point out, is these are just my opinions. Yes, I'm a Slimming World consultant. Yes, I work for the franchise. But this is my own take on it, and every consultant will be slightly different. We'll all have a slightly different way of wording things or a way to explain things, and we might even see things differently. Because the plan itself is black and white, but then it is down to your interpretation as a member and as a consultant, and how you try to get the best for your members and help them see ways to look at things. And I guess my role is to motivate and inspire and try and help people steer their ship as opposed to like telling them what to do. So we've got about 10 questions. If you are new to the channel, I'd be so grateful if you could subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications of whenever we upload videos and content. And then hopefully the next video, maybe me and Manix doing something a bit more fun. But for those that are interested in Slimming World, interested in what I have to say, then stick around till the end of the video. Leave any comments with any questions that you'd like to see answered in the next video, or any thoughts on maybe the comments that I make today. So I'll need my glasses. The first question that I received was, are you the only male consultant? I guess for some people it would be really alien and taboo to see a male consultant if that's something you've never seen before. And also I guess historically there wasn't a great deal of male consultants or male leaders in the industry as a whole. So no, I'm not the only one. There's loads and loads. I think there's 222 or something like that. I don't know if it has any advantages or any disadvantages of being a man. And I think whether we're male or female, we treat everyone with the same respect and integrity anyway. So yeah, regardless of whether your consultant be male or female, I don't think it makes much difference. But yeah, I'm not the only one. There's like 222 of us in total, the men. I think about 60,000 male members, I believe. So that was the first question. The second question we received, have you lost weight? And what's the most weight you've lost in a week? I have lost weight multiple times, and this might be a familiar story for most of you. I've joined probably 4 or 5 times with varying success, with varying effort, with varying circumstances. So the first time I went for a few weeks, didn't enjoy it. The second time I lost 3 stone in about 12 weeks, found it easy, for want of a better word, stopped going for some reason, a story that I'm sure you can relate to. I think I took it very seriously in 2011 when I was diagnosed with diabetes, and I went on to lose 8 stone, 2.5 in 8 months. I'd say 3 or 4 stone of that is back on, but I started at 24 stone 10. I'm just in the high 17s at the moment, so I've still come a long way. And I'm working hard at the moment to get back to where I want to be, where I feel happy, which is about 14 stone. And what's the most you've lost in a week? I'm happy to tell you, but I think it's always worth bearing in mind that making comparisons is never a great thing anyway. The starting weight of a person, maybe even the genre, like men burn calories quicker than women, how bad your habits were before you started Slim World compared to how bad they are now. So I lost 13.5 pounds in 1 week, which is the most I've lost. And as you can imagine, a bit raged, I wasn't another half a pound to get 1 stone. But it's fascinating, isn't it? And something that I always explain to my members, say you're which would be easy for you to imagine, and you lose a stone over 4 weeks. So we'll say 3.5 pounds a week. You'll probably be happy and delighted every single week and really feel like you're making progress. Whereas someone like me will sometimes lose 13.5 pounds in 1 week and then stay the same or even gain the week after. And it's often that peaks and troughs that can derail a slimmer from consistency and progress. So I always say, look at it over a monthly basis. Yes, it's fabulous to have a great week, but consistency is the key. Next question: what's my favourite bread? Weirdly enough, if it's dry the answer is Aldi sourdough gluten-free cob. I think it's 68 grams is a healthy extra. It's pretty rancid when it's not toasted because it's sort of dry, crumbly, not very bready. But if you toast it, it's unreal. If you make French toast, like, soak it in egg, fry it on the pan and fry light, happy day. So that would be my favourite bread, exclusive to Aldi. Aldi, if you see this, I'm happy for you to send me some bread. How do you set a target? I presume you mean how do you set a target as a member? It's an interesting topic, one that I'm very passionate about. First thing that I would say to any of you, if you're trying to lose weight without a target, you'll find it difficult, because without a clear goal of what you're trying to achieve, it's easy to get caught in I'm enjoying it, I'm not making lots of progress, but I'm no worse off than if I wasn't here. So targets are, you set an ultimate target, which is the one that I always encourage my members to strive for. An interim target, which is like the next milestone if that bigger target seems so far away. Or you can use the body mass index guide, which is within the book that we give people on the night they join. But from me to you, and statistically, I can assure you that the members that set a target on their first night and the one they truly want tend to be far more successful. Next question. Motivation. How do you keep it going? I don't. That's the truth. None of us are perfect. Everyone wanes, everyone struggles, everyone has challenges, everyone has a treat day now and again. But if I ever really, really struggle, I would do something like a for and against list, which your consultant would be able to tell you about, which is to try and bring back to the front of your mind why you're even doing this. If you're treading water and going to group every week and not losing weight, you've probably maybe lost the focus of why you joined in the first place. And I think a for and against this is a really good thing to do. Like for me, it was diabetes, and I don't want to go back to having diabetes. My 2 amazing children, my wife, those are reasons. And if you don't think about those reasons during the week, then you're unlikely to make the right choices. So if you're struggling, get a bit of paper, write down all the things you love about this, all the things you don't, and then hopefully you'll bring those 4 feelings to the front of your mind and be more successful. What do you use your sins for is the next question. The most popular things I use them for would be Easy Freeze Vimto Ice Pops, 1 sin each, just because I feel like I could eat 15 if I wanted, and they last a bit longer. They're really sweet. Lotus Biscoff Spread, 4.5 cents for a tablespoon. But as a rule, I try not to use as many. I mean, the less you use, you're likely to lose more weight, but then you don't want to feel deprived. So it's a real catch-22. So I think it's a journey that you have to explore with yourself and understand what taking them all impacts you and not taking them, how that would impact you, and just trying to find a correct balance. If I'm honest, I try and use them more in sins, like sauces, meals, rather than saving it for chocolate at night, because I'm the sort of person that can't stop once I've had one. But you have to learn these things for yourself, and we're all slightly different. Does staying to group make a difference? Yes. And I try and stand at the door when my members are leaving, if there's no new members, to try and stop them from leaving. I don't think it's so much about even the content, if I'm honest, always, because as a consultant, sometimes I think that went brilliant. Sometimes I drive home thinking, crikey, that wasn't quite how I'd hoped. But I think the sitting down, the friendship, the affiliation and the being part of something are really important. The changes that you talk about are like a public declaration rather than running out the door. The result becomes important because you know that if it's appropriate, it's going to be announced. And when you run out the door and you don't stay to the group, then you can easily sort of dismiss the result, go home, your husband asks how you get on and you say down 2, and then you can't remember what you said the week before, and it just becomes a bit of a mess if you aren't telling the truth. So yeah, I think if you want friendship, support, empathy, praise, meal ideas, laughter, then just sit down. And I think then it becomes a habit as well, rather than a you stay and like just get off the scales, get a cup of tea and sit down. Every successful member that I've had 2 men lose over 10 stone, 4 women lose over 9 stone, loads and loads of 8, 7, 6 stone. And I would say there's a common thread, and it's exactly that. And I, as a member myself, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Sometimes there's lots of things I'd like to be doing. There might be sport on the TV, or there could be something that I really want to go to. But I think if your happiness and health is important, then it's just worth putting yourself first for 40 minutes per week. Can you lose more weight each day without doing SP days? Yes, is the quick answer. So SP days are a separate entity where you survive pretty much on foods that come from the speed-free food section and the protein section. Slight change to healthy extras and sins. But I'm a big eater, and I like pasta, and I like potato, I like to feel full up, and if I don't feel full up, then I struggle. So if you want to lose weight without doing an SP day, obviously a bigger ratio of speed food on the plate would work, and reducing the amount of sins per day would be a quick fix. But again, make sure you're getting the correct balance. And finally, can I set a target? Oh no, sorry, can I change my target weight, and does it have to be 7 pounds? Yeah, you can change your target weight. The guidelines would stipulate to change it by 7 pounds, and I'm always flexible, and I'll always listen to my members, and I think you have to treat them like adults, and sometimes that can be hard because you know what's best for them, and maybe you feel that. I mean, I remember being in a group once and they were like, call your target, which is a phrase that my members would never even heard of, because if you bring your target forward, then I sometimes feel like maybe you're selling your dream short. So changing a target genuinely. So if you join me at 16 stone and your dream is to get to 12 stone, but really it's 10 stone, but you never wanted to tell me that because of the fear of not getting there. When you get to 12, you'd be well within your right to say, do you know what, Paul, I'd love to go for the next half a stone now, or the next stone. I think changing your target to suit your current emotions or membership is not a great idea, but to change it for a reason that makes sense is absolutely okay. Ideally, we recommend by 7 pounds. Ideally, obviously, we wouldn't let you drop it below what would be healthy. But you set the target, you're in control of that. You get a grace week if you fall out of it, and then you pay until you get back into it, and then you have free lifetime membership. So this was a fairly quick video, a few questions fired at us. I hope it's helped you to some degree. If it has, I'd love you to like the content, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, leave a comment if you found it useful or interesting, leave any questions you'd like to see in the next episode. But have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.